Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest version of Tribute Talk. My name is Greg Thompson. I'm producer of the Sunburst Convention of Celebrity Impersonators in Orlando, Florida. And my guest today is the fabulous Robin Gallo. Hello, Robin.
Hello, dear. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, tell everybody where you are right now.
I am in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I'm
Hmm.
actually in my house. But this is where I'm from, born and raised. And then later on, when I got to be 18 years old, I ventured off and traveled and sang and
All that
then
fun
I
stuff.
finally made my.
When did you first come to Orlando?
I came around October of '89, like the end of
89. So
the very end of '89.
yeah,
Yeah,
I moved here in September of '87, so I beat you here by a year.
you did. You got me. You got me. Yeah. Yes. And
Well, I'm gonna tell everybody a little bit about you. Robin, at one time, I know was when she was living in Orlando. I dare say she was the hardest working woman in show business in Orlando because if you have not sung with every variety band here, I would be surprised. How many different bands do you think you have sung with?
gosh, I was so blessed. God, I don't know. I was like a sub queen too. Some of them I was actually in, but I don't know, like seven, six, seven
Yeah,
bands.
yeah,
I mean, I was just like anywhere I could get work, anybody that would like
huh?
let me sing or fill in or something, I'd be all about it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So I was
Now
very
you grew up in Little Rock. At what point in life, if you remember, do you go, I want to be an entertainer and get paid for it? Or did you just say I want to be an entertainer and I don't care if I get paid?
well. I started singing at 3 years old.
No
And
kid.
so my mom always encouraged me and my sisters to get into it, and my mother actually sang, and got paid for it. So, I don't know, just all through school, I sang all through school, and, I just decided a long time ago, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a singer, and,
Hmm.
I did get paid for it. But I just music has always been in me. It's been in my family. It's always been in me, and so, I started on the road and I was like 18 years old,
No
and,
kid.
yeah.
Well, at one point, and this was, I don't know when you started. When did you start performing at Reba as Reba, and how did that happen?
Well, it was totally a fluke. I didn't
Yeah.
even know who she was. I was not into country music at all. I was a pop singer, R&B
Uh-huh.
singer. That was it. So one of the local bands in Orlando, we went to Biloxi, Mississippi, to back up
Hmm.
a bunch of different impersonators. And so for some reason, one of the impersonators didn't show up and it was canceled and everybody was panicking. And so my band leader goes, Robin, you're gonna do Reba. And you're gonna be this country singer, and we want you to put a wig on, and we want you to learn these songs, and you're gonna do it in a very, very short period of time. And I go, seriously, I don't even know who she is. Didn't know who she was. So I had to venture out and go find a wig. I knew that she sang Respect. So being an R&B singer, I could cover that, but then she sings it totally different. Anyway,
Hmm.
I got to where I really like her. I like her songs. And then after I got through doing that job, my band leader said, "Hey, you want to keep doing this?" And I'm like, "Sure." So my first really official job was at Cypress Gardens, and I was doing 5 days a week before I knew it as Reba. And I'm like,
No kidding.
yeah. And I was actually singing on opposite days alongside, Peter Alden,
Uh-huh.
who did Elvis. And
Uh-huh.
so yes, and so I'm like, I really like who she is as a person, and I'm
Hmm.
like, I think I can do this country stuff. So I'm gonna give it a try.
Well,
So
you most,
huh?
I just said you most certainly can. Now,
Wh
here's what I find interesting about the whole thing. And I have heard this story from other impersonators. George Trulinger was one who they needed a fill-in and he jumped in and did it for him and went, hey, I might have something here.
Yeah.
Um, and a couple of other people have done that. But what always amazes me is that when you put on the wig and do the makeup, you resemble her so much I know years ago, one time I booked you, and I booked you along with 4 or 5 other impersonators at an event, and people called me up and they're like, "Oh my God, people thought that was really Reba."
I appreciate that. Thank you. I never thought that I really kind of looked like her, or definitely never thought I was her.
Mhm,
But when you get into her music, when you get into her, um, the audience responds to you when you put the wig on, you sing her songs, and you connect with the audience. It's just such a great experience. It's like I must be doing something right because I'm getting the response that I'm getting, and
mhm.
because I know that outside of this, I don't look like her,
I
and
was
I but
just getting ready to say for the people who are watching and they go,
no,
"Wait a minute, she does Reba McEntire? She doesn't look like Reba." No, this is Robin, but when
but I
Robin does her hair, go ahead.
but I really am a country girl.
Yeah, yes, you are.
And I never grew up, riding horses or any of that stuff, but I am a
Uh-huh,
country girl, and I think being a southern girl, um,
uh-huh,
I kind of felt like I could capture her. I never dreamed in a million years that I would be a country singer because I didn't like country. I like
uh-huh,
pop music, I liked R&B music, and,
mhm.
but getting to experience being who she is and learning who she is as a person, that makes it even better for me to represent her as a tribute artist, you know,
Yeah, and you're so blessed with that Reba's not had any scandals or anything, so when you do perform at her, you don't have some jackwagon yelling stupid stuff at you.
I know, thank God, and she's, like, so popular, but she's
Mhm.
loved and she's respected, and the proof is in the pudding. She is just straight out who she is, and I just love it. I'm
Yep.
just grateful that I ended up with somebody that's good.
Yep.
I don't know how to
Well,
explain
the cool thing about Reba is, she of course, she's got her country fans, but everybody knows who Reba is
it.
because
Mhm.
they even though she sings country, um, so many people relate to her and they like her, and she is a nice person. So that's really cool. I've got a couple of stories I want to share with you. I may have told you this before. We did a showcase one time, and I saw this lady sitting down right in front of us. She was laughing her butt off. We were doing the Sweeneys, and she came up later on and she said, "You guys are good. I hope you do really well." And I said, and she looked so familiar to me. And I said, "Excuse me, do you work at Disney? You look so familiar to me." And she went like this. She went, "I'm Reba McEntire's sister." And I went, "Yes, you are." So it was
Oh,
Susie. Um,
wow. That's
but
great.
so that's my claim to fame with Reba McEntire is I've met her sister.
That is great. That is great. Her brother, was in town a few months ago, and my
Uh-huh.
sister, mentioned that to me that he was in town, and one of my friends who's a fiddle player that I work with, got to work with him, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
Now, at what point now, you told us, you started performing as her. How did you go about letting people know and go, "Hey, by the way, I know you booked me as a pop singer or R&B, or I'm filling in with this band or whatever." How did you let people know that you were impersonating Reba at that point? Did you go, "I need to get the word out," or did the word
Well,
just spread around Orlando?
it spread around, and
Uh-huh.
fortunately, the people that I worked with and, different agents that I worked with, they were, needing a Reba. They needed somebody, different impersonators, and they would call me, and, I was very fortunate to work with bands, or it was or a tracked act or whatever, but it was not just one particular person, it was just several different I mean, because I was working all over town just as myself, and,
Mhm.
and then, of course, coming to your conventions, the Sunburst convention opened up some doors for me too. And
Excellent. I'm glad to
I
hear that.
well, yeah, even the first time I even went to your convention, that was a great exposure and learning even more about the business itself and what it takes to do meet and greets, what it takes to do as a performer. Even though I was already a singer, being a tribute artist is a little bit different ball game, because
Mhm.
you are just you're representing someone else. You're representing them, and you're doing the best of your ability to resemble them, to sing
Mhm.
like them, to all their inflections and everything, and to connect with the crowd. That's my number
Mhm.
one thing is connecting with the crowd. And if you
And
can win over,
you
then
absolutely do that. You knock it out of the park connecting with the crowd. A few years ago, you had come to the Sunburst convention and we were having some technical problems. And I remember running backstage and going, "Do you have your song on your phone?" And you were like, "Yes." And I don't know if we destroyed it, but I know it had to come out of the case and we plugged it in. And I told the sound guy, I said, it's on here and
Mhm.
we will cover until you're ready.
Well, you
And
don't yeah.
well, I walked out on stage and I was kind of like, thank God it was Robin that this happened to, because I can walk out on stage and Robin and I can kill some time until the sound man's
I'm
ready.
just talking. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes,
And
you just have to learn uh, to think outside the box and not do the predictable, but sometimes the unpredictable because you're stuck in a situation. If that happens, it's like, what are you going to do? You can sing a cappella, you can make something up, but you just got to press forward. I mean, I've been in several situations doing a Reba job that all of a sudden the sound stops, and you're like, okay,
mhm,
but you don't even have time to go. Oh, what do I do? No, you just keep singing. You just keep going.
you you
You
just
just
better do something. You got to
that's
do something.
you have all eyes on you. Everybody's depending on you, and they're gonna check you out to see how are you gonna react to this situation. And you got to
Mhm.
be on it. You got to be ready. You can't panic. You can't freak out. You got to move on.
That's
And that's
right.
what I've learned over the years. And I mean, I might be scared to death inside, going, oh my god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? But on the outside, you're like, you just got to make it happen, whatever it
Mhm.
takes. So
Well, and every time, one thing that that you're touching on here, and I want to expand on a little bit, is the audience is with you. They want you to do well. They're not waiting for something bad to
right,
happen. And when you can cover and keep things going until other things are ready to go,
that's
boy,
right.
that is top notch professionalism right there
Well,
to
another
me.
thing too, when you represent the person uh, you're trying to portray.
Impersonating, yeah.
Yes, yes. They want that experience. They want to feel it. They want to, even though if so, say for mine, because it's Reba, I'm
Hmm.
not Reba, but I'm trying to do the best respectful interpretation of her. So it's
Hmm.
like they want that experience. They know those songs, and
Yes, they
she's a
do.
storyteller. They know those songs, and they want to sing along. They want to be all about it. And so if you can deliver that and make them feel a part of it, even though she's not really there, but just for the moment, just like with all the other tribute artists like Elvis and some other people that people just, I mean, he's been gone for so long, but they love him. They adore his music. They sing along with the Beatles, whomever.
Hmm.
If you can bring that, then you have done your job.
That's
You have
right.
done,
And one of the things that I love, like, let's say you're performing and you go out there and you shake somebody's hand as you're singing. I
yes.
guarantee you that that person does not say, "Hey, that girl that's singing is Reba McEntire shook my hand." They say, "Reba shook my hand."
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
know you're
Because
not really Reba,
they
but
know that, but there's a moment.
they're in the moment. They are in the moment, and
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like I don't want to say a fantasy, but it's like, hey, they're paying, especially if they're paying to come see you and they
It's
know who you're.
suspension of belief, suspension of
That's
belief.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, I want to bring up this is the first episode I'm doing tribute talk after COVID, because I kind of started doing it during COVID because what else are we going to do?
Mhm.
And, COVID put a screeching halt to so many things, including entertainment. I've always said, and I've heard this too, when a bad situation happens, entertainment's always the first thing to go, but it's the first thing to come back. And I
Mhm.
have found that a lot of people had a little trouble getting back in the saddle of doing things. And um, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was kind of part of your reason of coming to Sunburst this past year. Is like you wanted to get back in the ball game more as a Reba impersonator, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Singing in general, but yeah, absolutely with Reba. And I'm so grateful that I got to come this past September because it just it was kind of like reviving myself from like
Mhm.
wanting to do it, but getting the opportunity to do it again. Once I came to the convention, um not that I never felt accepted before, but it was just
Mhm,
so humbled by being there, being around my peers I haven't seen in years, being
mhm.
back on stage again and living those moments, and, it's opened some doors for me. It's opened me back up again. I mean,
That's
this
awesome.
I'm just so grateful to have it. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. I wondered
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well,
So,
I'm so proud to tell everybody right now that's watching, if you didn't come to the Sunburst convention, well, whether you did or not, one of the most coveted awards at the Sunburst convention is the Showcase Awards, and we give out three. We give one for silver, gold, and platinum. And Robin won the Platinum Showcase Award this year. So congratulations on that. And
thanks.
I think you were robbed a little bit of another one, and I'm going to tell you why. The other one is the Transformation Award, and that award goes to the person who looks the least like their celebrity before hair, makeup, and all that, but looks the most like them once they get into it. And what we thought was so funny was that when you were walking up to get your showcase award,
Mhm.
afterwards, so many people came up and said, "We didn't know that was her. We were just wondering who this other woman was walking around." They didn't know who you were
Are you
as Robin.
serious? Oh, they didn't
We
know?
had They did not know that you were the woman who was portraying Reba McEntire
I'm
because
just
we
some
had three
random
this
person
year.
up there. Oh my
Do what?
god.
What did you say?
I'm just some random person taking some award, you know? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh,
They
I
were
just
like, "Oh my
amazing.
god, that's Robin Gall." They didn't know who you were out of costume.
Well, it's been a while since people have seen me too, and and it does take, and I do look, I know I do look different
Mhm.
than till I put the wig on and the contacts and all that too. But wow, I didn't know that. I did not know
Yeah,
that. So
it was kinda funny. There were people like, "We had no idea. We knew who Robin Gallo was, but we didn't know that she wasn't that." Do you know what I'm saying? They didn't realize it was you. It
but
was
you know
very
what?
funny.
Sometimes if someone hasn't seen me in a long time, all I have to do is open my mouth. When I open up my mouth,
I
they know.
was just getting ready to say, several years ago,
Yeah.
we were at the Rosen, Plaza, and I think your hair was dark, but it was short or something, I think, and you were walking along, and you looked at me and waved, and I thought, "Well, who was that?" As soon as you walked over and said, "Hey, Sugar Britches," I was like, "That's Robin."
Me. Yeah. Yep, it's me, like, I've heard that all my life. It's like, once I open my mouth, it's like, yep, they know who I am, so, yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, well, I was
Well,
very good.
I've got you coming back to, Florida. You're gonna be doing a show next week at the Pasco County Fair. They're very excited to have you,
Well, I'm very
and,
excited to be there. I am.
yeah.
I'm getting myself ready and geared up to come, so,
That's
yeah.
all right, that's all right. Now, if you had any advice, for anybody, just starting out in the business, and the folks, this is not rehearsed, we have not gone through this, so I'm just throwing stuff at Robin. So if you had any advice for somebody starting out and they wanted to do it, other than just be good, because that's a very important thing, you gotta be good in the business to get bookings. What other suggestions might you have for them?
Well, first of all, if you're gonna do a certain, you're gonna do a tribute to a certain person,
Mhm,
you definitely need to do your homework. You definitely need to really study them, study their moves, study their do their their vocals, the whole nine yards.
mhm.
Um, but you need to get yourself out there. Um, if you have to make a YouTube video, if you have to do a Reels video, if you have to do something, because social media is so heavy right now, to
It
get
really
yourself
is.
out there, get yourself out there, and if there's look locally who is upcoming events and stuff, and see if you can sit in, see if you can be a part of something. But the main thing is what you do, Greg, and that is your Sunburst convention, and that
Oh,
is a
it is.
huge platform. It's a huge platform. I mean, people that have never ever tried before, and they're scared to death because they sing in their bedroom, or they don't, they're afraid to come out, because a lot of it is like just having the courage to get out in front of people and sing. I
Mhm.
mean, even when I first started as a singer, I was scared to death. I'd belt out a song, and go, "Thank you, thank you." You're so scared to say yes, and I can talk. But I'm just saying, um, um, I don't know, just be around people that are supportive and
Mhm.
talk about it. Tell somebody that you're doing this. This is something that you wanna do, that you wanna try,
And
and,
get the support behind you so you can get the
support
confidence to go
behind
out
you.
there and do it.
That's huge. That's
Mhm.
huge. And, you gotta try somewhere, you gotta start somewhere. So, you having the Sunburst convention is a great way to get yourself out there, get yourself on a stage. If you've never been on a stage, you've never been in front of a crowd, if you're singing with tracks, that's a whole different ballgame than singing with the band. If you've never done any of those things, that's something that you really need to work on and try.
Mhm.
Even if you're not really a singer, but
Mhm.
you're learning to sing or you're learning your character, and it may not be just a singer, it might be a comedian, it might be something else, but to
Right.
practice, get yourself out there, videotape yourself.
Videotape yourself a
It's
lot.
about
One of the
but
things that I really appreciate and I hear from people just starting out in the business is because we get all levels of talent at the Sunburst convention. We
yes,
get people who are just starting out. We've got
yes,
people who have been doing it for 20 years. We've got people who've worked for legends in concert and done tours, the whole thing. So if you're just starting out, it's a great place to go and hang around the veterans, the people who have been doing it, to give you some advice and uh, help you along the way because you can. And I'm promoting Sunburst here, but you can learn more in 3 days at Sunburst than you can 2 years out there just trying to do it on your own.
oh, yeah, the seminars are great, and
Hmm.
take notes, be aware. I mean, I take notes all the time, but be aware and, videotape other impersonators, learn, but the person that you uh are being a tribute artist to, just like with Reba, is like, just, again, do the
It's
best.
literally
Go
it's
ahead.
literally paying tribute to them.
It is. It's not being them.
Hmm.
It's paying a respectful, your best interpretation of how you see that person, and, doing it respectfully. That's very important to me is, the songs that I choose, the
Hmm.
inflections, and the person that she is in general. That's very, very important to me personally. But as far as just getting the exposure out there, I mean, you're not gonna get anywhere if you don't
That's
try. I
true.
mean, it's scary. It's scary,
It
if you've never
is.
done it before.
And the word exposure, I is a double-edged sword for me. And I tell people as they call me and let me know what you think, I'll just give you my opinion. I'm not the guru of it all, but there's a difference between getting exposure and
Yes.
somebody calling and just wanting free entertainment. Because I have been down that road many times. Oh, there's plenty of exposure. Like how? How am I going to get plenty of exposure performing at somebody's 50th anniversary party with 30 guests there? I'm not going to get any exposure out of that.
No, no, no.
But
No.
I have told people, if let's use a festival, for example. Well, we don't have a big budget, but you're going to get lots of exposure. I tell people, I said, okay, well, then make sure I get a newspaper interview, a radio interview, and a TV interview, and,
Yes.
and I'll come do it for free. And if you don't have those three things, it'll be $1,000. And they go, well, we can't guarantee it. I go, then it'll be $1,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I want to switch gears here a little bit, and I want to ask you something. And I'm going to throw these at you, and you can think about it if you want to.
Okay.
What do you think? This is going to be two-part question. First
Okay.
part is what is the best gig you've ever had where you're like, oh my God, there were so many people there, or the venue was so nice, or they treated you so well. And the other side of that is what is the worst one you've ever had?
Oh, wow. I have 2 really good examples of a great gig.
Uh-huh.
Uh, that w I d when I did the Tampa State Fair many years ago, and
Hmm.
I had a great crowd, huge stage. I felt I really in tune with the audience. I felt I was really in tune as Reba,
Hmm.
uh, delivering that. Had great dancers. I think it was a 2-week run, and,
Hmm.
every time I did it, it just felt like it got better and better, and I felt more comfortable
Hmm.
in what I was doing. Another one is, again, it was with Peter Alden, and we
Hmm.
were in
God
Troy.
rest his soul.
I love him. Miss him.
Yeah.
Miss him. I worked a lot with
Yeah.
him. Um,
Yeah. He was
great.
great. He was the first impersonator I ever booked. And
Really?
I was the first one to ever book him. Yeah.
Oh, he was so great. Just
Yeah.
really miss him.
But
But
anyway.
we were both in Troy, Alabama. I think
Uh-huh.
it's Alabama. Yeah. And it was for Special Olympics.
Mhm.
And I mean, they were cheering and singing along, and they were just absolutely precious with us.
Yes.
I mean, it was a rip roaring crowd the whole time. They were all about it. And so when they come up to you and come up to me and they would say, Miss Reba, I love your show and I love all your songs. And I'm just so excited to meet you. And just letting them live that experience and having that moment was just absolutely precious,
Mhm.
humbling, um, can bring tears to my eyes because it's so,
Yep.
so, so sweet. Uh,
Mhm.
the worst.
Yep. The worst. Okay.
The worst job I did.
You don't have to name names.
I will not name names. This particular place that I was at, okay, it was not a band because I've done some band gigs and those are great. Um, it was with tracks. I gave this so-called sound person my tracks, and he just bought this little machine and he didn't know how, and this was back in the CD days.
Okay.
Okay. So I put my seat. He couldn't hardly figure out how to work the CD. He just got the CD player that day. And so I'm like, okay, I'll deal with that in a second. So I go, okay, well, where's my microphone? Where's the stage? Well, not much of a stage. And so then I go, but I need a microphone. Well, we don't really have a microphone for you. I go, well, that's part of the deal is that I get on the
They didn't
same.
have a microphone for you?
No, 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 no. Oh, let me just tell you. It
Oh,
was like,
wait, there's more?
oh, there's more. So my little microphone version was, oh, and the speakers. Okay, we're gonna get the speakers. I had to use a lapel mic that you use for interviews. And
Uh-huh.
that's how I sang into my songs was through this lapel mic. And there weren't regular speakers. It was like music speakers up in the ceiling. And I'm like, am I in hell or what? Oh, did I say that? I did. I did. It
That's
was like,
alright.
oh my God. So sometimes the tracks would work. Sometimes the tracks would not work. And a lot of my job is for 45 minutes.
Oh, my land.
And so I sang a cappella some of the
Did you
time.
really?
But by goody, I got through that job and I was like, oh Lord, did I earn my money? Did I need extra that day? Oh my God, it was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. But I got through it.
You
So
got through it.
yes, and I've had a couple different times where, I'd be singing Fancy, Don't Let Me Down, and Fancy didn't let me down, but the music would stop and I'd go, okay, and I just keep on going. And then all of a sudden the music come back in again. I'm going, okay. But it was bizarre because when I did that job, because Fancy's like 6 different verses or whatever.
Mhm.
So I was singing, music kept going. All of a sudden, bam, it cut off, and I just kept going. Boy, I did not miss a beat. And all of a sudden, boom, the music came back on again. I went, thank God I was in sync. Thank
I
God
was gonna say, did it come up at the right place?
it did. It did. I was like, yay, Fancy did not let me down. So those are kind of like, scary jobs. But anyway, that's okay. I've had a lot of great jobs. So
Yeah.
love working with the band. Love working with the band because that's what I'm used to, and
Mhm.
you get so much you're so connected with the band, and, I love it, love it, love it. Love dancers too, so but the band is
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I think there's no question, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, "I'd rather perform the tracks than a live band." I've never
yeah,
heard anybody say that. And, of
yeah,
course, it's not always possible to have a live band there with
and
you.
that's
The
okay,
cool
it's
thing of What's
go
that?
ahead. I'm sorry,
No, it's
it's not always, but that's okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah. The cool thing about working with a band is if you wanted to talk to the audience in the middle of the song, the band just keeps riffing, they just keep
Yeah,
playing. Or if you
yeah,
mess up your words, they can come back around and get you back to where you were supposed to be.
yes,
But
yeah,
track shows, not everybody has the budget for a full band. So you go in and you do the track shows. Now, the good thing about a track show is you know exactly what it's going to sound like every time, as long as the sound doesn't go out on you.
Yes, but let me insert this.
Okay.
Someone who has started out that has never, ever, ever done it with tracks. They can sing along with their character. They can sing on with the music. They can sing on with the person that's singing. But when you're singing with the track, it's not always going to be exactly the same identical arrangement as the original song. So
Hmm.
you have to really listen about your timing, really know when to come in and when to come out, and it's different, especially if you've never ever done that before. And as a singer, you need to know when to come in, when not to come in, and because sometimes, like I said, the original is not going to sound the same as the track if
That's
you're doing a
true.
track show. If that
That's
makes
true.
any sense.
Let me ask you this about because you've sung with so many bands, and I'm going to tell another story, but particularly it has to do with Robin that I thought was funny on my part. But how many different songs do you think you have memorized in your head?
Through the
It's
years,
gonna it's
oh
gonna be in the thousands in it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, and it's
easy.
amazing how things come back through my head after all these years of haven't sung a song since I was like 18, 19
Really.
years old. Oh yeah, and then how it comes back to me. It just like remember the melody, remember the song, remember being in that moment, learn those songs, and the hard work it does take to memorize. Because at one point, I did get out of like memorizing stuff, and when I was sung with a couple different bands, didn't have to worry about memorizing song had words right in, and that was being lazy.
That it
But yeah, oh yeah,
that's my opinion too, and I have been guilty of it myself, but I notice when I'm doing my one man show
uh-huh.
that I actually I cheated one step further. I had the music synced up with the lyrics, almost like I was doing a one man karaoke show. But I noticed that I lost that connection with the audience when I did that. And
Oh
that
yeah.
is so important.
Well, another thing
That's so
too is also singing with a band in a especially in a big venue wearing in-ear monitors. You know, a lot of the performers wear in-ear monitors. Wearing
I
in-ear
had my
monitors,
first experience with them about 3 months ago.
different ball game than having speakers in front of you.
Yep.
Especially that's another point as being a first-time singer or a first-time performer is like it's gonna sound totally different in front of you than it is in your ears. Now,
Yes.
when I did sing for many years with inner monitors, I always took one out because
Me
I
too.
did feel a disconnect with the audience. And
Mhm.
again, that's number one is to me is being able to connect with the audience. That's just, what's your point? You can get up there and sing a song anytime, but if you don't have that connection with them, because they want that and you want that
They
with them.
want it. Otherwise, you just can play
Yeah,
Spotify in the background.
exactly.
Well,
Get there.
I wanna show everybody, this is, Robin in, her Reba attire there.
Yes.
So, um, and I wanted to bring up something else, and it popped out of my head that quick. It had to do with tracks or a live band or was the in-ear monitors. I do the same thing. I take one out so I can hear everything going on around me when I've got, in-ears in there.
Well,
Um
another thing within our monitors too is like if you get to that level to where you do use inner monitors at some point, that you have to learn to hear within yourself first when they're in your ears, and then whatever is programmed in those. Does that make sense? In those ears, like if you want bass, or
Mhm.
if you want drums, or you want just track, or there's so there's so many facets to that.
One of
Uh,
the we've been performing out at the villages, and they're like, up to date on everything, and it's really cool because, we can download an app, and it's
okay.
connects to theirs, and you can adjust your own in-ear monitors instead of
Yes.
telling the sound man, "No, I need more bass. No, I need more mids." You can do it yourself right there on your phone, and then you're
Yes.
good to go.
And it's beautiful. Yes. Yes. You
Yep.
can. Yeah.
Now,
It's a whole
have you been booked to do a track show just by yourself and nobody else on stage? It's just Robin as Reba in a track show.
oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yes, I have, and the one coming up is just the one that I'm doing,
that's what it's going to be for me. Yeah,
all tracks. Yes, it's gonna be, so yeah, oh, yes, it's gonna be all tracks, and, I'm excited about it, though, because it's okay.
yeah,
It's, but, you gotta know when to come in and when to exit,
yep.
and what you're gonna say to the audience and getting into the next song, and, yeah, track shows are fun.
Have you ever had any problem with connecting with the audience if something happens and you just, talk to the audience? Because I'm going somewhere, and where I'm going is I don't know what it is, but there is a thing about Central Florida. I'm going to say this, that people who have worked in the backgrounds, who have worked at Cheyenne Saloon, Rosie O'Grady's, and all that fun stuff, there's something that, like, I if I needed to kill 10 minutes and you happen to be standing by me, I know for a fact I could hand you the microphone and go, Robin, go out there and kill 10 minutes. Without even singing a word, you could just get out there and talk to the audience and keep them entertained until the emergency's over. Did that come natural to you, or did you have to work on it, or did you watch other people?
No, it's natural for me. It just comes to mind. I just say what I
Mhm.
think. I do. And speaking of, I did work the Cheyenne Saloon. That's when I
I
sang
knew you did.
for the very first time. I'm like,
You
"Oh my gosh." And
really?
I swore I would never sing country ever. I did. And, but then I ended up singing there. Yeah, yeah, you learn as an entertainer through the years, especially being a front person, that you've gotta learn to just jump in whenever at a last minute's notice. You gotta be
Mhm.
on your feet, because everybody's watching you. They're all gonna go, "What is she gonna say? What is she gonna do? How's she gonna react to this situation?" If especially if there's a technical difficulty, how are you going you have to learn that, and it takes time and, through
And to
experience.
understand that it is going to happen sometime, and
It's a
you need to
human
be
error.
prepared for it.
Yeah, it's a human error, and things happen and that are out of your control, and you just have to learn to wing it and get through it. And sometimes people do stall. They go, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to react. I don't
And
know.
that
Just
drives me crazy. My friends tell me, because I have a thing about dead air,
I
and
can't
if a
stand dead
band
air.
is going,
Oh, uh-uh. I can't
you
stand dead
mean
air.
the
Oh no, I can't stand. No, 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 no. I won't
if
continue.
something happens, keep the audience entertained. The thing that drives me crazy too is, it goes along with this, if something happens, to watch a band go, "Well, what,"
Yeah,
and the audience sitting there going, "Well, this is not fun." So, yeah, if you've got that front person up there who could just talk to the audience, throw a couple of jokes
yeah,
that you keep in your pockets out
yeah.
there,
I don't
it's a
know
lot
that
of fun.
I'm not really a joke girl, but you are. But I
I've thank God.
I know, thank God, I know. Yeah, I mean, you have to just it's just you just have to learn how to do that, and, it's a
Mhm.
learning thing because if especially if, something happens and you are a first-time singer or you haven't had a lot of experience that you're gonna go, "Oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I say?" And people are staring at me, and how am I gonna react to this? And it is scary.
It
It
is
can
scary.
be. So it comes to me, it comes with experience, it comes with time, but you are human. And I, I'm a natural singer. I'm not a trained singer. And um, I've had those moments where I'm like, what am I going to say?
Mhm.
But over time, I just say what I think and what I
That's
feel.
it. Just
In
be
the
yourself, and it's
moment, just
perfectly
be myself.
okay to go, "How
Yeah,
you doing, folks?" And go down the audience, "Where are you from? Is that your wife?"
that's
Just
what I do. Yep,
yep,
yep, that's what I do. Who's got an anniversary out there? Who's got a
that's
birthday out
exactly.
there? They're all about that. Especially if it's about them.
Oh, they will tell you.
They're all about that. Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
and
gonna share this story real quick, that I was doing a gig, it was a pirate theme, and
yes.
they had me in the dressing room with the band, and I met the female singer, and I was impersonating Jack Sparrow at that event, and the band came up, and I didn't have my contacts in, and they started singing, and I heard this girl singing, and I thought, "That sounds like Robin Gallo." And they kept singing. I'm like, "Man, that sounds like Robin. But I met the lead singer in the dressing room a while ago.
Yeah.
That is so weird." And then she started talking. I said, "She talks like Robin Gallo." And
Yes.
then I went and put my contacts in and looked up on stage. It was Robin Gallo.
I I know. See, once I
It
open
was
my
in
mouth,
Sarasota.
was it in
What's that?
Sarasota? Okay, yeah, I know
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it was a while. Oh, yes, that's what I told you. It's like, see, as soon as I open my mouth up, people go, "Yep, that's Robin. Yep, yep, yep." So, anyway, I can't help who I am, but anyway,
That's
so
that's
that
all
was a
right.
great gig. It was wonderful to see you, and I did recognize you. I knew exactly who you were, and I'm
Oh, you
like,
did?
I'm gonna say, "Oh yeah, of course I knew who you were. Oh yes, I knew who you were. That's why I called you out."
That's too funny.
So,
Well,
anyway.
what is the best way for people to get in touch with you? Go ahead and if you've got a Facebook or a phone number or email or website, whatever you got.
I have a website, and it is on my Facebook page under Robin Lee Gallo.
Well, she is in Little Rock, Arkansas, but she does not have any problem hopping on a plane or driving somewhere to go do a gig.
That's right.
And one of the most, Robin, you really are one of the most dynamic entertainers that I know personally. And we really appreciate you. You knocked
Well,
it out of the park at the Sunburst convention this year. And I hope you get 1,000 gigs over the next 3 years.
well,
No, that's not even possible, but
that threw me a little ragged. I'm just saying. No,
all right.
I'm very excited about getting back in the game again. I'm excited to get my feet wet, and I've already had some offers and stuff, and in a couple of different theaters and stuff. And I'm open to what God has for me. I am an open book, and I am. Um, I can see doors opening already, and I have to be patient, and it's all in the right timing. And
Mhm.
I'm excited about
Yeah,
the
the timing
experience.
is great. Reba sang, Star Spangled
Yes.
Banner at the Super Bowl, and, she's also gonna be on The Voice. She's gonna be on
Oh
The
yeah,
Voice, and
and so
she's got a new TV show coming out too, doesn't she?
yes, and well, she's done Broadway. She's got her clothing line. She's got, she's got so many things going on. That if you don't even know her as a country singer, you're gonna know who
Mhm.
she is in another facet. So she's had a lot of exposure because I guarantee you at the Super Bowl, a lot of people don't know who she is. And I bet
Mhm.
after then they do now. And even on The
I remember
Voice.
when she first started out, I used to be a country radio DJ, and, it's like, "Who is this?" "Oh, it's this girl, she started out singing at the rodeos, in Oklahoma."
She's
So,
serious.
one of the things I wanna mention, and then we'll start to get on out of here, is that when you come to the Sunburst convention, I was talking about there are so many people on different levels. One of the things that I hear year after year after year is people say, I get more work from getting to know the other entertainers than I do from the talent buyers who come. And
Yes.
you're a perfect example because if somebody has this, I know the answer to this, but has anybody ever called you up and said, do you know any other impersonators we could bring in on this show?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Hello.
You open for Gretchen Wilson, right?
Oh, it was so much that was so much fun. That was in West Virginia, and I opened up for
Uh-huh.
Gretchen Wilson. That was great. That was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. And yeah,
Did you
that
get to
that
meet her and everything? What am I talking
oh
about? I've seen
yeah,
your picture.
okay. I do have a picture of her and I together, but I don't have my wig on, and my hair's a
Okay.
different color because people know me. This is my natural hair color, but people know me in all different colors until I
Uh-huh.
decided to come home back to Arkansas and just quit dyeing my hair. So this is me.
Uh-huh.
And but yeah, you wouldn't, I had a different hair color then too. But I have a picture of her and I together. I ought to show it to you. I ought to
That's
send
cool.
it to
Yeah,
you.
I'd love to see it. I'd
Yeah.
love to see it. Well, I appreciate you coming on here and doing this with me.
Well, thank
I'm
you
so
for inviting
excited you
me.
are back in the game. And once again, everybody, this is Robin Gallo, who performs a tribute to Reba McEntire, and she is a dynamite performer and singer, and she doesn't just do country. She did pop and R&B before she ever sang country, and now she's all about Reba and ready to book anywhere, right?
Yeah, anywhere. I don't care. Yes, I am living in Little Rock, but yeah, you can put me on a plane anywhere. I'll go anywhere.
That's right.
And I'll go on a cruise. Yep, I'll sing wherever you want me to go. Yes.
Let's roll. We'll go. All
I'll get
right.
on up in it.
That's it. All right. Well, thanks again, Robin, for joining me, and we'll have more shows tribute talk in the future. But give Robin a big round of applause if you're watching, and we'll catch you
Yeah.
guys later. Thank you, Robin. I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Have a good day, and bless your heart in the good way. We'll see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Robin Gallo as Reba McEntire.
No good two-timing lies coming out of your mouth. Cheating, mistreating games that you play brought you down. Broke my heart, tore it apart. Look who's got the last laugh now. Don't you come crawling back, begging please on your knees. Baby, if you're missing me, well, you can hear me on the radio. You wanna turn me on, turn on your stereo. You can sing along while they're playing our song. How you done me wrong, baby, crank it up until you blow the speakers out your Chevy truck. So listen, Romeo, when you're feeling kinda low, let me tell you where to go. When you're feeling kinda low, let me tell you where to go. Turn on your radio. Turn on the radio. Turn on the radio. Turn on the radio. Turn on the radio. Oh, 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 oh. Turn on the radio. Every time I turn the conversation to something deeper than the weather, I can feel you always shutting down. And when I need an explanation or the silence, you just tell me you don't wanna talk about it now. What you're not saying is coming in loud and clear. We're at a crossroads here. If I'm not the one thing you can't stand to lose, if I'm not the air to the heart of you, if you don't get drunk on my kiss, if you think you can do better than this, then I guess we're done. Let's not drag this on. Consider me gone. Consider me gone. Just consider me gone. Come on, y'all. All right, y'all. She saw it in the window, just a calling at her name. She mowed the grass, took out the trash, and saved. Bought it on a Monday, had a gig on Friday night. In the garage in front of her mom, she came alive. She likes to play, she loves to rock. Yeah, she's closer to the bottom, but she's headed for the top. She's got a dream to be a star, dressed in black like a Johnny Cash with a pink guitar. I said a pink guitar. She plays a pink guitar. Yeah, I said a pink guitar. Yeah, here we go. I need you one more time. Come on. 1976, an old boy named Bill invented a contraption that we know so well. By the 1950s, they were everybody's home. Had a crazy little thing they called the telephone. Well, there's one in the corner in the back of every bar. You can get one in your briefcase, on the plane, or in your car. So tell me why haven't I heard from you? Oh, tell me why haven't I heard from you? I said, now, darling, honey, what is your excuse? Why haven't I heard from you? Woo! Thank you.